All right. Yeah. Welcome everyone. Welcome to another day of BA AGILE SCRUM. So let's continue to get started from where we had left off. But before that, let me quickly share the reminder with you all. That's the guideline code of honor that everyone should remember and to follow that. So as you all know that Agile is full of ceremonies and each ceremony demands you to show up live, be it in person or in remote. It means that you be on time, remain punctual, be highly committed. In case you are not practitioner of it, considering these traits to follow this training itself as a project, to follow in this training itself as a project will let you become the practitioner of it, or habituated of it, because it is said that how you do anything is how you do everything. Second, you chose to learn, you became a student, but we want you to be the full stack student who does all the assignment, do self research and repeat what they learn. While you do these all and complete what is asked from you to finish, and when you finish, you may hit the success and you can take the full responsibility of that. But when you don't finish what you are supposed to accomplish that you started, that may hit to the failure. And even you, if you don't even start, that may lead to the failure. So can you take the full responsibility of that? And the answer is yes, because you know that this has been the result of not taking the responsibility of that. And when you embrace it, acknowledge it, you may realize that you may accept it and go back and correct it. And then the realization was that failure was not a failure, that became trail to the success, and it was part of that. But to do so, it really requires a concrete mindset. The very first one is inspired from Lean's Kaizen. It means continuous improvement, and for that, you must inculcate the learning mindset. More learning minded you will become, you will find yourself growing more positive. More positive minded you will become, you will find yourself growing complaint free. More complaint free you will go, you will find yourself getting loaded in a gratitude that leads to the highest level of productivity, along with without even with the stringent timeline, as well as with the lack of resources. Sometime you will find delivering the project in a timely fashion, and that boost your confidence level further. Okay, and that will become the result of this mindset. While you do so, you need to remember to be the giver, keeping ego away on the path of learning. That makes you more spiritually grounded on the path of growth. And it is said and expected from you that you are not here just to learn, but also to earn more. And it is said that what you want more of, you must start giving away the portion of. And for that very reason, uh, tell yourself that you can give away, if you are already earning 5% of 10% of your earning. In case you are not earning, can you have an intent to give away at least once you get placed, that is 5% or 10% of your earning to the causes wherever you believe in? And the causes could be any donating to any donation to the orphanages or old age home, or even feeding hungry children, or donating back to any church, mosque, gurudwara, or temple. Why? Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And I'm sure that none of you are here for the survival, but for the growth. And while you do so, remember to continue to appreciate what you do, what others do for you. And even it doesn't seem like it is helping you back through the giveaway, continue to do so, because it is said that what you appreciate appreciates you back. And remember, any learning that has to go with the increased level of receptivity, and for that you must start your day with the highest level of receptivity. And for that very reason, I have proposed you a 30 days challenge. This is um recommendation, not mandate. And those who enroll into this, enroll is in this is the complimentary, this is free for you. You need to just hear the audio program that is given to you for every single day, 10 to 15 minutes while you jog or walk. Finish it off and get amazed that how it is impacting your every single day of your activity as an outcome. And continue to do so for next 30 days. Only catch is that if you miss even a single day, you need to restart from day one. So So to enroll into that, in case you have not enrolled yet, you need to send me a message as 30 DC, means 30 days challenge, and I'll be happily sharing you this audio program. And why you need to send me message, not on the group, because this is a recommendation, not the mandate. My other thousands of students are using it and seeing the result of it. And while we do so, remember to learn any complex or any tech thing using golden quadrant of learning. That's the proven formula. Comes with four easy step. We do one and two step over here, and third and fourth are expected from you to do at your own pace and place. First one, what we are going to do is that we will do anchor with the declaration. Okay, that's first step. Second, once we do it, then we take a deep dive to the deep learning. Once we do that, then after 24 hours tomorrow, you will be drawing whatever you have learned using your memory, recalling from there, and you can draw like this and flaunt it back while summarizing whatever you have learned in a way that even 5 years old can understand. And that's a kind of a challenge for you, that 90 minutes of learning summarizing in 5 minutes. So it's up to you how you are summarizing. Okay, and track it back every single time you're summarizing. And when you will track, you will realize that how you have evolved as a person and as a future business analyst or future business analyst or scrum master or product owner. That is to bring back your own confidence and make you ready to crack any interview once you repeat whatever you have learned. Okay, so let's get started with declaration with the anchor. So what is declaration, what is anchor? All the science I have already spoken about it, the reason behind it in day one's recording itself, so kindly refer to that. So what I'm going to do is that I'll be hitting the anchor first. So anchor will be, just now you heard on your speaker like this is the self hi-fi, it's a clap. So you need to model it, and once you model this self hi-fi, I'll be going to read the selected statement on your screen, and you need to repeat after me. Okay, so first unmute yourself, and everyone unmute yourself and say yes if you all can see the selected statement on your screen. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and kindly be ready to model me now. So I'll do the act, and then after that you are going to repeat after me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a
I'm
quick
a quick
learner.
learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
What
others
others
can
can
learn
learn and
and
master,
master,
I too can do that.
I too
I
can
can
do
do
that.
that.
And more time with the selected statement. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. Because I am a quick learner,
Because
Because
I'm a
I'm a
quick
quick
learner,
learner,
today's learning is going to be
today's
today's
learning
learning
is
is
going to
going to
be
be
super duper easy to me.
super
super
duper
duper
easy
easy
to
to
me.
me.
Um, yeah, it is going to be because you said so. Uh, in case you could not remember that, you can, if you remember the fifth code of honor, and just give me a second. Yes. So, and remember how we are going to remain connected, guys, every Sunday. Yeah, technical session 10 p.m. EST. Monday, technical session 10 p.m. EST. Tuesday, you do attain RRP session, because that's the gateway of your placement. That is mandatory. You may miss the technical session, but not the RRP session, because you are here for placement. Okay. And what happens in RRP session? That is a reference ready resume preparation that enhances your visibility, strengthens your credibility, and thereby the marketability. All right. And Wednesday, you must do the assignment from the learning of your learning of Sunday. Friday, you do the assignment from the learning of Monday. Uh, and Saturday, you can choose to relax, have a breather day, or do your own research, or repeat whatever you have learned, or prepare any question that you want answer on the next technical session. Having said so, um, that's all right, Vijay. That's all right. Not a problem. Anyone, meanwhile, I want to quickly check, is for the first time over here. You have not attended any session in the past. I mean, in the person, in the remote setting, of course, in this live session, you might have attended the recording. But anyone here for the first time, you are attending us live, me and Prerna? Okay, no one? 1, 2, 3, no one? All right. Okay. All right, guys. So, having said so, yeah, Sweta, you want to say something? I think you had been the
Um,
part of.
yes, yeah. But I have a question about the RRP sessions, Gaurav.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
not sure like when's the right time to start joining it because I
Okay.
did join like one way before this session
Yeah,
started.
that's a wonderful question, Sweta. Let me address that. So thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much for asking it. So RRP session, I would recommend those who to start joining right straight away. If you have already background of business analysis, Scrum Master, Product Owner, you are already from IT background and you want to just you joined here with the intent to get place. So if that is the scenario one, you must start joining RRP session. That's number one. Number two, okay, you are wondering what is business analysis, what is Scrum Master, Product Owner, and you are not figuring out that how to go ahead with that. Then in that scenario too, I would recommend you first attain and complete it. Okay, you attain and complete your learning path first, and then when you have more clarity that how things function and you have now experience through project or workshop and you feel some confidence, then you start joining in the RRP session. Is it clear, Sweta? Yeah.
Yeah, so and another question on that.
Yeah.
So specifically it's just for me. I'm not talking about everyone else. So like I did have do a project that was a short term, but I think the like I really need to know the domain part. That's where,
Yeah, yeah.
I lack
That's
knowledge.
that's that's
So
okay. That's okay. So what we do towards
mm-hmm,
the end of the business analysis session, we
mm-hmm,
cover around three to four domains. Okay. So we
okay.
cover, we give you heads up and we give you important touch points on
Uh-huh.
insurance domain, banking payment domain,
Mm-hmm,
medical domain, that's a healthcare, and also if time permits, then this comes from Prerna, that is on HRMS. Okay, that's a human resource. So these four domains we touch base and see. In every domain there are n number of domain, not every and each
right.
domain can be taught to you, but
Correct.
definitely we focus towards the BFSI for sure. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else, Sweta?
No, it makes sense because I've always been wondering, when's the right time to join these sessions and
Okay, so the
uh
right time to join this session is that whenever you feel like. Okay, and we'll make sure that everything is coming to you just like it is being served in a platter in a very chewable and easy manner for you. Okay, so and the core thing is that whenever you are starting, generally we make it happen. We request you all to go through
mm-hmm,
from 0 second till 90th second the day once recording. Okay, because
mm-hmm,
you never realize what we said towards the last 1 minute of the um, last 1 minute of the recording on day one, because
mm-hmm,
there also we provide some crucial information and we have experience those who uh,
right.
go little bit of smarter, putting it into X mode, that is okay to accept. But towards the end, okay, everyone's saying bye bye bye, so let's drop it. No, your video is not ended yet. Towards the end we may realize that you may realize that we have said that okay, one more announcement, and then we make that announcement, and that could be the crucial part you might have missed. But coming back and saying that, oh no, we have heard that recording, so that may also happen. That's the reason we generally say attend it as if repeat it or listen to it as if you are attending it live. Okay, so how it
Oh,
happens in live, you only drop when the class gets over, when you say bye and all. Yeah, so
oh,
that's how we say that you attend it completely. I hope
oh.
I gave more of the context again. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Thank you, Gaurav.
Okay, thank you. So let's continue. We were talking about the sprint planning. So, for every people, every person, every accountable person. So, who are the accountable person? Let me quickly tell you. We were talking about the Scrum rules earlier, right? So product owner is there, scrum master is there, development team is there. So we won't be calling them anymore scrum role. Okay, what we will be calling them, you will be hearing more now me talking about not role. I'll be using the word accountable or accountability partner or accountable person. Okay, because latest Scrum Guide has introduced this name. All right, with me so far, everyone, because that may also come as a part of. You may stumble with these words during your interview too. With me so far. So, do you understand why we are going to use the word accountables instead of the Scrum role? Scrum accountable person. Say yes if you heard it. You understood what I said?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So now let's go ahead and understand some of the checklist because we are talking about sprint planning. So some of the checklists are required even for Scrum Master, product owner, and development team that they are going to incorporate, use, and have it during their sprint planning meeting. And for that very reason, what I'm going to share? I'm going to share my screen. So here you see the Scrum Master. Okay, we uh, can call him facilitator. More or less, a Scrum Master is seen as a facilitator. Okay, uh, as lately the Scrum Master tag of servant leader has been omitted. Okay, and of course I was in favor of this omission because he's a kind of a leader, invisible leader, and the needed leader, mandatory leader. Okay, whose impact uh, on the progress of the every release has been vital. Okay, so what all activities Scrum Master can keep as a part of checklist? Like if any ceremony is happening, if it is online, offline, his responsibility of making sure that he arranges or make it arranged. Okay, be it video conferencing room, screen sharing, or any polycom access, telecom access, information setup, and if it is VoIP sharing devices and all. So everything he will make sure that networking team has arranged well. So his coordination and communication has to be in the place. Scheduling meeting space, if it is offline meeting, that making sure that the room is not booked by anyone else. He makes sure that when he is booked, it is during the available time of everyone else who can access and be the part of this meeting. Making sure everyone is aware of the agenda, what exactly is to be discussed during this ceremony, whatever ceremony it could be, whatever the facilitation meeting it could be. Okay, making sure that this is the ceremony which he is organizing, or the meeting he or she is organizing, is not encountering or colliding with any sort of holidays or any pre-planned training or event or travel, or during the employee days off. Making sure all the crucial, critical, and needed people are available, and they are made sure that they happen to attend such ceremony or meeting. Even the small to small stationery, if it at all needed, like tactile artifacts, like 3 to 5 cards or post-its or pens. You're making sure that admin team or HR team, whoever is required to arrange these activities or material. So Scrum Master has coordinated with them well beforehand, making sure things have been arranged properly. So if I'll tell you that the kind of thinking it through has to be done by Scrum Master, every requirement will be highlighted, making sure from which department what is coming, informing them well in time, arranging things well in time. That goes under the checklist of this facilitator, to which we call it as Scrum Master. Are you now aware the depth of the arrangement what Scrum Master will bring as a checklist, everyone? Say yes if you understood.
Yes.
Yeah. Now
Yes.
let's understand about the product owner. Thank you so much for your responses. So, product owner, he sets the goal and priority, okay? Ensures the backlog item candidates are ready. So, as I said, I don't know whether I have given you a quick walkthrough over the Jira yet or not. I believe not yet, but will be giving you soon. So, in project management tool, every single ticket you will raise, or you will create user story, or you will create backlog items. So if I'll say, you can understand, let me draw something for you, okay, that will be making more sense to you. Let me pull a quick uh, you know whiteboard for you. Okay, so I believe the whiteboard is visible to you. Can you all see that? I click.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what exactly happens is, you get what requirement, right? A large requirement. It can be yes or no, because it won't come like, okay, create a just uh, you know print button for me. This such a requirement won't come. Okay, always it will be a requirement which is large, huge, or medium, right? Where resources, anyone resources from 5 to 500 may get involved. 5 being minimum, 500 maximum. 500 will go towards the enterprise level. With me so far? So if that is the requirement, do you think the entire requirement as whole in one day can be delivered to customer? Possible?
No.
No.
No, not at all.
No.
Obviously not. Okay, yeah, you are right. So what we will do, we will make sure that not in a day, then can we deliver something at least in 7 days, or 14 days, or 21 days, or a month. Okay, can we deliver something during this timeline? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So imagine if this timeline, this requirement is big enough, which is going beyond, um, you know, beyond this time limit. Okay, which is going beyond this time limit. Okay, of course, the entire requirement cannot be delivered within this time frame as well. It means that in more 7, 20, 14 or 21 or 30 days, we will be delivering something else as well. Okay, so if it is the piece of a whole requirement and we call it as R1, okay, and if we call it as R2, and if requirement is big enough, we will have to get into R3 and R4. And if we decide that, okay, every requirement will undergo 14 days of the cycle, okay, to which we call it as sprint. What we call it as?
Sprint.
Sprint. You're right. So if we decide that every requirement, and we may call it as phase as well. This is, say, for example, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 instead of R1. Now, but a requirement has to be made deliverables. Okay, it has to be converted into the right deliverables. So to convert it into right deliverables, it means that the whole requirement can be converted into the smaller modules, right? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Yes. So initially, in the project management tool, we call them as epics. What we call them as?
Epics.
Epics or call them as enablers. Okay. Now, if epics are there, because big requirement converted into the smaller module, again a smaller module will have the multiple functionality. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, multiple
Yes.
functionality.
Yeah.
So if one epic is indicating towards a module, or one epic to one bigger level of functionality, once it has to be broken into multiple functionality, then one epic or enabler will be converted into right user story. Into what, everyone?
User story.
User
Story.
story. Now, this user story will be worked by every team member. Like a user story will be talking about what exactly we need to bring as a requirement for customer. So developers, means coder will work, they will do their work, tester will do their work, uh, architect team will do their work, DevOps team will do their work, and final the deployments shall happen. So every user story will be given to every team member. It means there will be certain tasks related to this user story will be assigned to the team members or the team owner. Yes, or the team member. Yes or no? Say for example, one the user story task for coder. Okay, user story task is for tester. Okay, user story task for DevOps team. Okay, we are assigning these tasks. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So you see, first the requirement means this, you consider this as a requirement is the release, or this cycle we are preparing, or sprint we are preparing. It will have the multiple epics, because we are not just delivering one epic, multiple modules. And that one epic, each epic will have the multiple user story. Each user story will have the multiple task and subtask. Okay, but at the end, when you are creating anything in the project, when you are adding anything in the project into the project management tool, you are adding plus every single item, task, subtask, user story, epic, sprint, requirement, will be termed as an item. Okay, or even you are raising any defect or any question or any doubt or any incident or any bug or any defect, will be termed as an item only. Sometime it is termed as an item, sometime it is termed as candidate, sometime it is termed as guy. With me so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you hear these lingos, don't get afraid what exactly this product owner mean to say. Okay, so I just quickly introduce in what happens, how you are interacting with your team members, what they might have flashed in front of you as a part of lingo, and you end up not even understanding them. Many of you might be knowing these already, but this I thought I'll share with you. So here it says that ensure backlog item candidates are ready. See here, these every epic will be called as backlog item. What they are called as?
Backlog item.
Backlog
Backlog
item.
Item.
items. And now
Backlog
here
item.
you see here you are here it is being referred as candidate. Yeah. Yes or no? Just now
Yeah.
I shared that
Yes.
sometime you
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
hear the different lingos. So candidate is one of such lingo. Okay, ensure backlog item candidates are ready according to the. So when we say ready, it means user stories are drafted well as per its format. So we need to know that how user stories are written. Okay, all right, everyone. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
no, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so we will get to know how it is written. Okay, then
Uh,
according to
sorry,
teams,
uh, Gaurav,
someone's,
sorry, I have a quick
yeah, yeah.
question.
Go
What was
ahead.
the third word you said after candidate?
Okay, I did use many words.
No,
So
like
let me,
the lingo that you were talking about, right? That
yeah, yeah,
writing
yeah.
candidate and you used the
So,
third word.
yeah,
Guy.
candidate
He
guy.
said guy.
Yeah, yeah, candidate guy, incident, ticket.
Okay.
Ticket is the another word you will happen to hear more. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So these are few lingos. So ensure backlog item candidates are ready according to the team's definition of ready, if a definition of ready exists for the team. Okay, because we have to make sure that we are making sure that definition of ready is there. Okay, it means that you are well aware that how a user story is written. Okay, then it says that make sure the skills and capabilities of team members are known and are generally aligned with the needs of the backlog item candidates for the sprint. Okay, what does it mean? When it says that make sure the skills and capabilities of team members are known, are generally aligned with the needs of backlog item candidates for the sprint. It means that if we have to develop any module, okay, for developing that module, what we need to have, who can tell that? To develop any module, what do you think we should have?
The
And who
right
do we have?
resources.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right resource.
Right resources, as in?
Um, the right team members like the developers and testers.
Developers, testers, coder, then technical architect, functional architect, all those, everyone else, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So when you will have as a product owner already idea that what all the user stories or epics or product backlog items are there, then only he can arrange or she can arrange the relevant person or skill for them. With me so far, everyone? Yes? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Now, development team. So development team, so when we say development team, it means the rest of the team. Who all will be in this rest of team? Who all
Code,
will be in this rest of team?
coders,
The
testers.
developers, testers.
Yeah, coders, developers, tester, everyone you said. Yeah, that's right. So this team member, these remaining team members, they plan the work to be done and determines how much it will take. I mean, they assess their own work, how much it is going to take. They commit and they complete. Okay. So, and daily they update the team's definition of done, not daily. So they update definition of done. Definition of done means every acceptance criteria which is defined inside the user story, they will make sure that as needed and it is easy to refer during the meeting, and for that they continue to talk about that their user stories are in alignment with the acceptance criteria or not, and they will be giving you in the daily stand up meeting the progress update. Okay, so they will be talking about the progress, so that once progress, even if it is dependent upon others progress, can can start controlling for their own work as well. With me so far, everyone? Yes, no? So,
Yes.
in a
Yes.
nutshell, the development team will be responsible for completing their assigned task, making sure that it is moving towards the done. And from backlog item initially that was in to do, it comes into the in progress, and then it will be moving towards the done. At the end, Scrum Master will take the responsibility of making sure to encouraging everyone to moving their task towards the done. And for that, he will be checking the progress in the daily stand-up meeting. In what meeting, everyone?
Daily standard meeting.
Yeah. All right. Now let's move to the process. Now here you see that there will be input, there will be output. So when Scrum meeting will start, sorry, a sprint planning meeting will start, because we are talking about planning meeting. So in planning meeting, what do you think will be the input? From where the input will be coming up? And what sort of input it would be?
The requirements.
Yeah, it will be coming from requirement, and those requirement are initially referred as what?
Uh,
Backlogs.
Yes,
Backlogs.
absolutely right. These are the product backlog items. Okay. The highest weighted job first has to be highlighted. So when I say highest weighted job first, there is abbreviation for this. You need to remember is called as HWJF. What it will be called as?
HW.
W.
HWJF. Okay, what does it mean?
Highest weighted job first.
Yeah, you're right. Highest weightage job first. So when we say highest weightage job first, it means that in a nutshell, you are defining the priority. Yes or no? Right? Highest weightage
Ye
job first
yeah.
that we are.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
So so those prioritized item, will the entire backlog item, the entire slice, entire stack will become the highly prioritized item in the very sprint. So here you need to learn about one thing to which we call it as this. What do you read here?
MVP.
MVP.
Value.
Yeah. So what do we mean by MVP?
Most valuable. I don't know.
Okay. So MVP means minimum viable product. What is the full form of MVP?
Viable
Minimum
product.
viable.
Minimum viable
product.
Yes, you're right. So it's a minimum viable product, and minimum viable product, what does it mean? It means that those becomes viable even they can be launched with the minimum functionality. Now think of a product which is loaded with multiple functionality, but initially it was with the minimum functionality. Can you tell me any such product which came into the market with the very minimum functionality? Think of it. Any such? So the moment I asked the question, what comes in your mind?
Mobile phone.
Mobile phone. Inside mobile phone, what comes in your mind immediately?
apps.
Which app comes in your mind?
Camera.
Camera. Okay, fine. So now tell me, when camera was introduced, what was its minimum functionality you expected a camera will do?
Take pictures.
Take
Yes.
pictures?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Now, camera was launched to take the pictures. So can this app be launched with only this functionality and people will still use it? Initially when it came into the market, yes or no? Because its core job was to take picture, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, what they did, they enhanced it further into the next release. They said that now you can take video too. Okay. Now both are captured. Okay. Next release, they introduce further. Okay. Now you can take the slow mo, you can take
The
multiple shots, you can take longer picture,
Ray.
you can take live pictures and all. So they keep loading, they kept loading with they kept loading with the multiple features to this app. Yes or no? Do you all
Yes.
do you all agree with that?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this upgradation is always there. Okay. If upgradation is always there, it is increasing every single time, then it is called as MBI. What it is called as?
MV.
MBI. It means that minimum beginners increment. Okay. Minimum beginners increment. But with the picture and video, can it be marketed? That any mobile phone with the picture and video can be marketed initially when it was introduced? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And that is the time it was called as MMI. What it was called as?
MMI.
And what do you think will be the full form of MMI?
Marketable
Yes, you are right.
item.
Item, or there is another, so let me write it rightly. It becomes now MMP, MBP, MMP, and MBI. So MMP is that minimum marketable product. With me so far?
Yes.
Yeah. So now product backlog is ready, people are ready, and sprint planning meeting is going on. And here every single person will start giving their assessment, and assessment are taken up in the capacity and velocity. Okay. So what is a capacity and velocity? I'm not going to spend much time onto that. In fact, what I'll do, I have shot already a small 20 minutes of recording, and I'll share this with you all, because I have told exactly when to and how to identify velocity and capacity. It's about person's availability with respect to the hours available to develop, produce, or complete any feature from the product backlog. With me so far? Yeah? Yes, no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
while you are assessing the capacity velocity, that is in a nutshell, some complexity you are identifying what kind of a feature it is we are going to develop, and what is the constraint to develop it, how long it is going to take it. So we are defining here the sprint backlog. Okay, means sprint goal, how it is going to look like, and that this will become the part of discussion in mid, where you are deciding who will work on it, how things will be worked upon, and what all things will be worked upon. Okay, so you are very much clear with the input. What happens, that is uh, inside the during the sprint planning meeting, and the output will become this. You will be coming out of the 8 hours of long meeting, if it is going to be 4 weeks long sprint, very much clear with sprint goal and sprint backlog, what you will get at the end of the sprint planning meeting. Yeah, everyone, what you will get?
Out.
What you will get, guys? What will you
Out.
get?
Output.
Results. Sprint.
Yeah, so what do we call it? What is the output?
Sprint backlog.
Yeah, so output here I have mentioned. Can you read it?
Sprint goal
Sprint
and sprint
backlog.
backlog.
Sprint, sprint go, yeah, sprint, generally it will be called as sprint goal, where you enter with the sprint, when you pick prioritized item, that will become the sprint,
Backlog.
yeah, sprint backlog. And towards the end, you are very much clear with the sprint goal. All right. Yes,
Yes.
no? Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. Now let's continue further. Let me quickly check if Prerna is there. Let me hand it over to her, so that she can take the remaining part. Okay. Uh, Wait a second, guys. Yeah. Prerna, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay. Wait a second. Yeah, not a problem, guys. Yeah, she was not here. She is joining. So let me continue further. All right. So this was sprint backlog. So now we need to understand there are multiple, element of any sprint planning meeting. And when we understand these element, it will be called as structure. What it will be called as? What it will be called?
Structure.
Structure.
Structured.
And how sprint planning is structured? In two parts. In how many parts?
Two parts.
Two
Parts.
parts.
Two
The
parts.
first part is dedicated to what? What do you read here? Part one.
Scope.
Scope.
Cool.
Scope.
So let's understand this. Um, it mentions here as well that it is split into two parts. Part one is scope. So in this scope, what happens? Team selects which item from a prioritized list of ready product backlog items to which we abbreviate as PBI. How do we abbreviate it as?
PBI.
PBI.
PBI. So you will happen to hear more in short these abbreviation that PBIs instead of the entire words product backlog items. Okay. So these expresses as user stories. Okay. So these PBIs will express as user story, but initially written as an epic only. How it is written as?
Epic.
Epic. But
Epic.
is it necessary? Yeah, thank you so much for responding. So, is it necessary that all the PBIs will only be the epic? What do you think?
No.
No.
No, that's absolutely right. Then what? If not all the PBIs will be epic, then what all the possibility may happen? What else
Maybe
will be?
some smaller tasks.
Some smaller task, absolutely right. Directly some task can be the part of PBI. Directly sometimes some user story may be the part of PBI. So this is for your reference to remember and know not to object once you are going for the first time in any agile delivery, uh, any agile delivery model. Okay, with me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Making some
Yes.
sense to everyone, each one of you? And I'm talking to you all, Sweta, Swaroop, Sumati, Priyanka,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Aarti, Seep, Anushri, Vijaya. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I think Dev is there, Dhara is there. Yeah. Swarupa is there. Okay. Okay. So I see some known names. Okay. Cool. So now it says that they forecast these PBI, they forecast they will be able to complete during the sprint. Here is sample agenda for the first part of sprint planning. So what it says, what is the goal for the sprint? Okay, use this as a decision filter to determine which product backlog items to include in the sprint. So see, this is theory. Okay, this is theory. Very good. You can understand it, but example will help you. Okay, for sure. So what is the goal for the sprint? You need to identify and use this as a decision filter. Imagine a bank has come to you. So what is the goal? So they want the entire banking feature. Now tell me in bank what all the feature one client can access. Tell me.
Internet banking, mobile banking.
And what they will do in this internet banking and mobile banking?
Deposit and
Mm.
withdrawal.
Deposit withdrawal. Okay. So now let's, yeah. Yeah, Prerna is here. So yeah, Prerna, I was just talking about these last two bullet point. Okay. And next slide, you can take it up. Okay. So I'll just
Sure,
complete it.
sure, Gar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So based on that, when you said withdrawal and deposit, it means they must have the cash, right? And if they must have the cash, there must be a customer, right? Yes or no?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
Yes.
if there is a customer,
Yes.
there must be a bank account, right?
Yes.
So they will decide, okay, so can we prioritize it and how we are defining? When I ask so many questions to you just on the answer of the cash deposit and cash withdrawal, do you think in the sprint planning meeting you can ask such question and can define the highest priority item?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is
Yes.
how you are approaching. And what product backlog items are ready and contribute toward the sprint goal? Imagine you ask similar question and in sprint one you are equipped with the add account and add customer. Okay, or account opening or um, account opening and add new customer. So in the next one, you can add cash deposit and cash withdrawal and also check balance. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So you understand the link? Do you understand the link of sprint 1, sprint 2, or 2 consecutive sprint? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So now let me hand over the how part to further how part to Prerna. So yeah, Prerna, over to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Gaurav. So, guys, this is one of the most interesting as well as very practical concepts that we are learning here. By the way, these are not concepts, these are actual steps or actual processes that happens in, when you follow the sprint. So, while learning about sprint planning, as Gaurav was explaining, just understand that it is a detailed discussion between the team members. Okay, so let us understand how it is structured. When we say we are doing the sprint planning, so for that matter, any planning that we all do, any kind of planning that maybe you are planning a tour, you're planning to build a house, you're planning to buy some expensive vehicle or anything. For that, we always have some kind of planning. Very very rarely things are impromptu or all of a sudden. So, let's deep dive in this, how the structure of sprint planning looks like. So I'll request four different individuals to read out the 4 bullet points mentioned. Please go ahead.
Who
Who is
is
available for the
oh,
sprint?
go ahead.
Identify any vacations, holidays, other activities that will impact everyone's availability during the sprint.
Okay, next person.
What is the team's capacity based on everyone's availability?
What items will the team include on the sprint backlog based on the sprint goal and the team's capacity?
How confident does the team feel that they will be able to meet the sprint goal?
Thank you. Thank you so much for reading it out. So here, if you could realize, what are we saying that who all are available for the sprint? Now you might say that why this is such a basic question or understanding that people have to be available. But imagine that we are working in a very I would say geographically distributed team, as well as people who are working in different regions, EMEA, Europe, or even let's say US. So we all have different holiday calendars, right? Like the kind of holidays US and UK is having right now, those are not that similar to India as of now, because Christmas being very big over there and comparatively it is not so big in India. I'm saying comparatively. So it's just an example. So for scenarios like this, also somebody can be on personal vacation. So we have to check that. So this is a very first to do thing to know that okay, required people are available or not, and this is a Scrum Master's duty to check whether they are available or not. Okay, because all of their inputs are important. All of their inputs are required for the sprint planning. Next, we need to understand the team's capacity when as per their availability. When I say this, that means if we have a team of say 5 people and out of them like per se 3 people are on leave, just a hypothetical example, that's why I'm giving you high numbers. So out of them 3 people are on 3 people 3 team members are on leave due to whatever reasons during that sprint. So definitely your sprint goal, your sprint planning is gonna get affected by that, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So that is why we need to understand who is working or who is on leave, or how the team is looking at. Okay. This is also very simple, but yet very practical. Next point, we are saying that, okay, as per the sprint goal, what all items we need to discuss? Like, for example, as I normally tend to give easy to understand examples. So if we are working on an e-commerce website, In that scenario, if our sprint goal is to develop per se gym equipments, whatever equipments up and running in your website. So for that, our sprint goal also has to be kind of adjusted as per that. So what is the sprint goal then? Okay, upload images of all the all the gym images, ensure their prices and description are properly mentioned, ensure that they are customers are able to add them to cart, and kind of check the availability, everything that has to do with the gym equipments part. Okay, so this is what we mean when we say related to sprint goal. In short, as per for our understanding, whatever is our sprint goal, all the activities associated to complete the sprint goal must be on our priority list for this sprint. Okay, makes sense? Any doubts? Easy to understand?
Yes.
Yes or no? I need some, yes, I need some responses. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And last but not the least, this is a very practical and realistic question, that how confident we are feeling that we should be able to complete. Now, when I give you the scenario, when we mentioned that 3 people are on leave, now honestly, that's not an ideal scenario where we can sound confident and be realistic. So yes, we have to be very practical as a team and mention, okay, if we have this many resources unavailable, so we definitely will have to push the sprint goal or modify it or talk to the customer or things like that. Whatever it is, we'll have to work on that. Okay, so easy to understand. Check everyone's availability, check the capacity as per who are present during this time frame, which backlog items needs to be included depending on sprint goal, and then as per that, let us know or let us understand how confident we are as a team to work on the sprint goal. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now let us go to planning. We understood how. Now let us go to planning. Can I request 2 people who haven't read yet? They can go ahead and read it out, please.
The team discusses
The
in
team-
more detail how they will deliver the selected product backlog items.
Yes, this may but does not have to include identifying tasks for product backlog items, whether there are any dependencies between the items, and say signing up for the initial product backlog items that each team member works on.
Thank you so much for reading it out. So what are we saying? That as a team, we all sit and discuss the product backlog item in detail. Now, you might have this question in your mind, that why so much of emphasis on discussion and understanding? Because when we work in sprint in real life, now because we are learning, it's all theory. Things might be sounding repetitive, or it is very, very basic to understand. But then as we actually implement Scrum, what happens is we are working in a very tight schedule, extremely tight schedule we are working on, and we need to be focused. So even if you put or consider one simple extra requirement, or if you considered some wrong calculations for your completion of your task, that is going to affect your sprint delivery. That is going to affect your sprint goal. That is why the emphasis is so much on the overall discussion and delivery. Okay, so we go via product backlog items, we pick up all the items related to sprint goal, and then we start working on them. Okay, this may, and it's mentioning that we don't have to always, but include identifying tasks for the product backlog item. If there are any dependencies, by the way, it's a very good practice to do this, to understand dependencies. Now you may ask, what is dependency? So as Gaurav was giving a banking example, you all must be having a bank account. Do you guys do online transactions using your bank credentials? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
use bank?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can you do any transactions, any activity in your bank account without logging into your bank account?
No.
No.
Why? It's a very simple question, right? Why?
For security, you need to.
Security.
For
It's a
security reasons and to
precondition
access
to
your,
Your
sorry, last, yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just saying it's a precondition to the activity where you can
Absolutely. So
yeah.
you all mentioned right, it's security and obviously it's like if you want to go to your house, you're going to open the door. So that has dependency, right? Unless you log in, you can't do transaction. So do you understand dependency? Unless you can search something, you can't find it. That's a dependency. So same way, even in larger applications, complex structured applications also most of the times have dependencies, right? So it's like unless you have a payment, I would say gateway inbuilt in your application for e-commerce application. Can you make the payment? Can you wait for delivery? Can you make an order? If you don't have a payment structure, it can be anything. But if you don't have that payment logic, imagine you're on Amazon.com, you added things to your cart, and you want to buy something, and you went to payment, and there is nothing. There is blank. Can you go ahead and place an order?
no.
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 No, right? So do you understand? For completion of order, there is a dependency on the payment process. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I just wanted to I just wanted to make sure that we all understand the concept of dependency. That's why we try to understand and learn about dependencies and signing up for the initial product backlog items that each item members work on, and everybody in this meeting concludes by the items that they'll be working on. As a tester, they will test the whatever piece of software or piece of functionality the development team will work on. As an analyst, their job would be to analyze things or get into discussions with the stakeholders or get clarity or prepare documentation. As developers, as a designer, they'll work on designing the interface. As developers, as programmers, they'll get into the logic development. Okay, so this is how, and this is a very broad level categorization. In reality, we all work on the task level. Task is something that you are assigned, each individual, each team member, and you work on. Okay, so we work on task level. Let us go. Please stop me in between wherever you feel that you need more clarity. And as per my regular suggestions, this is please, it's a very simple and easy to understand uh, image. Please take a picture of this image using your phone, or if you're on if you can take a screenshot. It's a very simple but very effective image. And why we encourage you to take, I would say, okay, why we encourage you to take pictures is because this image should be so clear in your mind that whenever you're going for any interview or any discussion, or just to ensure that how is your understanding of the concept, you can look at the image and you can start explaining, right? So this is what it does. So all the theory that we learned, that is summarized into these images. Okay, that's why these images are so important. So on the left hand side, can you see a gentleman? By the way, that's a gender bias, but let's go ahead with that. Can you see a gentleman wearing a suit and tie? And what is mentioned below?
Product.
Product owner.
Okay. And product owner, what he or she has?
Creating the backlog, product backlog.
Yes. And
Planning.
Also,
Planning.
yes, so there is an
Yes.
arrow coming to that. So ultimately, this backlog creation is always kind of driven by planning of the project release. So it's like a reverse, like you released a project in the last sprint, and then whatever remaining items are there after the completion of specific items, then you take those items, like you completed 10 requirements, next go to next further 10 requirements, like that. So let's follow the arrows. So creating the product backlog, from that we are going to
Sprint planning.
Sprint
Sprint
planning.
planning.
Okay.
Sprint
can you
planning.
see sprint planning? 6 to 8 hours, it has to be less than a working day. So it's roughly, if your per se, if your sprint is of 2 weeks, then maybe 4 hours. If your sprint of per se 1 month or 4 weeks, then it can be 8 hours, but it should not be more than one day, one working day. And here, if you could see a fine lady shown in as a scrum master, okay, he or she, there can be anyone, and then they also, and can you see this is a smaller amount of this kind of product backlog? So from product backlog, we take out some work items, some backlog items, and call it as a sprint backlog. So this is a superset and this is a subset. Everybody clear with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So this is a sprint backlog. So here again, if we have to now again, and along with, see, Scrum Master and development team is like how you call Jai Viru of Sholay, or they're very closely knit, okay, because they work together. They are like one team altogether. Though product owner is as well, but I think have I given the school example in this session to give clarity on product owner and Scrum Master roles? Yes or no? Do you know role-wise what is the difference between product owner and Scrum Master? I don't remember in this class. Or
Yeah, I think
other.
So
you
the
did touch
teacher and the
base.
principal
Yeah.
example?
Yes,
Yeah.
Teacher
yes,
Yes,
and principal.
yes,
yes,
you've given that.
Yeah,
yes, yes, perfect. Yeah. So yes, so as the teacher is there, they he or she will have her team along with that, her class with that. So if you're even in development team, I mean, this image is really quite nice because they have tried to inculcate or include everything that what does Scrum stands for. Even in here, imagine starting with the hair color and hair, I would say style, even the clothing, everything is different. And why? Because all five of them kind of come from a different type of skill set. One can be analyst, one can be developer, one can be tester, one can be designer, one can be database expert. It can be anything and everything. One can be security, network security expert, one can be I mean, they can be an architect. So to show that they are diverse, they are from diversified skills, they are showing in a different. Otherwise, there can be same icon as a team. Generally, it is the same scenario. You get same icon shown. Okay, so now again following the arrow, the blue arrow takes us to first 1 day daily scrum meeting, stand up meeting for 15 minutes. Okay. So, by the way, it's a ritual, it's a daily process. And when we say stand up meeting, that means you actually stand for this meetings. Okay. I have been, I mean, it's more than 12, 13 years I've been following scrum now. And you actually stand. Either you can go to a conference room, or even if the conference room is not available, you can stand at your desk, and everybody will give a very crisp and short details about 3 questions. We call it as 888. Basically, what did we work on earlier 8 hours, means the prior day? What are you planning to work on in the next 8 hours? That means today, the upcoming day. And last but not the least, in case if there are any impediments, any roadblocks, any issues, please table that. So what happens is, first of all, everybody knows what other team members are working on. Testers know what developers are working on. Developers know what testers are testing and what kind of bugs might come in. You know, everybody's aware that what everybody is working, and also in case of any issues or any problems, if somebody is facing, and they table it and they discuss and they just mention it, other team members who have resolved those kind of issues can help them offline. They can say we can connect offline and we can take it forward, and that does help. Okay. So that is a stand-up meeting for you. Next is analyze, design, and build. So this is your, in a way, development phase where you are analyzing, designing, developing, working on the actual logic part. Next comes is a testing acceptance criteria. So now the testing thing, you can see, right? These are all different color text. So testing team gets into that. They work on their test cases to ensure that all the development items are working fine. In case of there any bugs, they raise the bugs. And from that, once that testing is complete, we have basically we have generally sprint review first and sprint retrospective, but that's okay. Then we have these two ceremonies. Basically, sprint review means as a team, you review your work. Sorry, you present your work, you showcase your work to the stakeholders, to rather all the stakeholders. Okay, that is your senior management, your clients, any third party members working for your project, and anybody and everybody who has a stake or interest in your project, those are there, and you present your work, you showcase your achievements, you highlight your achievement, that what you had achieved, what you could do better, how you excelled in something, and then how you managed to achieve your sprint goal. And then after that, the last but not the least, it's one of the very important ceremonies, that is sprint retrospective, wherein you as a team sit down. And also in sprint review, we not only showcase, but we also take feedback. Customer or other stakeholders share their opinion about, okay, how do they like it, or are they happy? Do they want improvements? Do they want us to work more or whatnot? Whatever they are mentioning. And after that, here on the right hand side, can you see on once the testing was done, before these two ceremonies, we have this deployment or distribution. That means all the work that has been completed that was at the development environment, that is kind of transferred to or ported to customer environment, where they can use it, they can test it, they can actually see the look and feel. Okay. So it's called as shippable product features. That means the product can actually be shipped or transferred to customers using different environments. That's a little technical part, but that's okay if you know it. And then the customer can actually check that developed, so it's like if I'm working on amazon.com and I'm developing it and on my laptop, you can't check it, right? But then if I make it visible to you, then you can also check that using your laptop, and at your convenience, at your location. So that is also allowed, that is also done. So any doubt in this diagram? It's one of the best diagrams you've come across. Very easy, very simple, yet very effective. Any doubt in this diagram, guys? Let me know. All good?
Yes.
Yes.
Any? Yes.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, super. Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for that. Now, again, this is more or less similar, only word difference is we have is project vision before release planning. So it's like we have again the same kind of circle. What is our project vision for this project? What are we thinking about? Where we have to reach after a certain period of time? Then this is the release. For this particular release means this particular sprint. What is the plan? What is the release plan? So if we are saying that we have a project for our project is for say 2 years, and right now we're looking at first release, okay? 2 years, and imagine we have 6 releases, maybe 6 months, we have one major release. For that release to go, when I say release, guys, imagine your entire Amazon.com is a release, okay? Entire, and we all know how big it is. Why I give that example? Because everybody is aware of that, and they must have used that website at least once in their life. So there's nothing new to them. So imagine if you want to develop Amazon in 6 months, you will have to do multiple deployments, multiple developments for smaller functionalities, right? First clothing section, then maybe automobile section, then mobiles, and then garments, and then maybe household items, and maybe colors and then toys, everything. There's many small segments that they have to be created. So they will go into as a sprint planning. And our release is like Amazon. Maybe in the next release, we might work on Facebook. I'm just giving hypothetical examples, but just for understanding. So again, planning, implementation, a part of implementation is daily Scrum. And once implementation is completed, we go for deployment. Then after that, then we review and retrospect. See, here it is right. Sprint reviews first and then sprint retrospective. Basically, retrospective is something that we look at ourselves, and we evaluate our work, and that comes after sprint review, because even the customer feedback is important to know. So this is again more or less a repetition, but in a very crisp format. And yes, in the simplest form, we give inputs about who is working on what and how. So a developer is working on this functionality and how, using this skill, and ultimately this is the output. Okay, this is just for your easy understanding of sprint planning. Okay, now I think we have discussed in detail. Let us just breeze through this. If you have any doubts, I'll explain, but these are very simple to understand concepts and theory we have mentioned. So yes, anybody who wants to go ahead, 4 different people, 4 points, please.
Sprint planning, the how. The first point is the development team plans the work necessary to deliver the sprint goal. Ultimately, the resulting sprint plan is a negotiation between the development team and the product owner based on the value and effort.
Yes. So what are we saying? Thank you for reading it out. Let me explain this point first. So how is development team, as they are the grassroots level workers, I like to call them, because they are the actual people who work on the requirements. So they work on the necessary deliverables, or they work on the task or requirements that is required, that is needed to complete the sprint goals. Yes, but then what and how we reach to this requirement is by having a negotiation. Okay, negotiation means, see, product owner, being a product owner, he has to manage all the stakeholders. Okay, development team is also one of the stakeholders for him. But then, as the business says, we have to listen to the customer, or a customer is the king, is our motto. He or she will always push, for the I'm telling you the real aspect. Okay, though they are from your team, but their role demands them to ensure that the customer or client is happy. So they might tend to push on things, or they might tend to ensure that a lot of work is getting done. But then as a development team, we need to also have a voice and highlight whenever there can be delays, or whenever there can be a possibility that things might not turn out, or as a team you do not have that capacity, or do not have that strength at that moment, and you can mention. So that's why it's always a negotiation. If a developer is, if a product owner is saying that, okay, we need to complete 10 requirements, and as per the current status and availability of resources, you would say no, we can complete at least per se 9 or 8, then that is a negotiation. Okay, so that is within your team that you also have to negotiate. Everybody cool with this? Any doubt? Why negotiation between both of them? Because they both have their own agenda or their own responsibilities. Yes?
Yeah,
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's go to the who part.
The who. You cannot do sprint planning without the product owner or the development team. The product owner defines the goal based on the value that they seek. The development team needs to understand how they can or cannot deliver the goal. If either is missing from this event, it makes planning the sprint almost impossible.
Perfect. Makes sense. What we just discussed, we are saying that both of them are, I would say, the uh, most important parties in this planning meeting. That doesn't mean this poor scrum master is not, he or she is also. But what we are saying is because both the parties will have their own agenda, they need to be present and they need to have their own negotiation game on. And that which will ultimately result in what kind of work is being done or what is the total work that will be completed. Okay. That's why we are saying if either party is missing, generally no one is missing in the sprint meeting because uh, that's the thumb rule, right? If you want to work on something, you want to develop something, we have to ensure that everyone is available, because at this meeting we will confirm and we will decide what we have to work further. So there should not be any gaps. Okay. The next part. Okay. Now, when we saw that earlier image, inputs and outputs, let's go ahead with inputs and outputs. Anyone? Yeah. Inputs and
The
output, please.
inputs, a great starting point for the sprint plan is that product backlog, as it provides a list of stuff that could potentially be part of the current sprint. The team should also look at the existing work done in the increment and have a view to capacity.
Thank you so much. So what we are saying that the inputs is a starting point for a sprint plan wherein we take items from product backlog and we make a list of all the stuff. We are calling it as stuff because it is not yet confirmed that all those items will be in the sprint planning. And we are mentioning that these items potentially could be the part of the sprint. And the team should also look and check that what is the existing work that is being done. That means in the earlier sprint, if we have completed per se 10 requirements as a team, then in the next sprint also, we can complete more or less similar number of requirements depending on their complexity and their functionality involved. So basically, what we are saying is, as a team, we understand what is our capacity as per the earlier completed work. Okay, give me a second, guys. Yes, and the next point, the outputs. The most important output for the sprint planning. Okay, I just started reading it. Go ahead. Anyone can read it, please. Output.
The outputs, the most important outcomes for the sprint planning meeting is that the team can describe the goal of the sprint and how they will start working towards the goal. This is made visible in the sprint backlog.
Yeah, thank you. What are we saying that the most important outcome? That means what we should get from this sprint planning meeting is that we get to understand the goal of the sprint and also how we will start working. So we all see, it's like, when we used to have this project meetings during a school or college days, we like, okay, this is a project, and, we have to, whatever, make a maybe volcano, or maybe make some, physics rule or something, it can be anything that, your mind pleases. And was that only it, or we just sat and decide who will do what, who will do the cutting, who will do the pasting, who will write the theory, who will make the chart boards, right? We assigned work to each and every team member. So only having or finalizing goal is not important. Also ensuring who is doing what. Okay, what are you doing? Who is presenting? Who is gonna complete? Who is gonna design? Who is gonna paint? Okay, so all that needs to be also mentioned, and this is made visible in the sprint backlog. And yeah, and that is how we get to know that, okay, these are all items you will be taking from the sprint backlog. Okay, again, I think we'll have one quick image. I personally enjoy having images because they kind of, give you an easy way to remember concepts. Okay. Again, see, product backlog in a different fashion, having their, product owner having their product backlog. Yes, very nice. Again, sprint planning meeting. Though there are only two people, imagine it's the entire team, and the final outcome, what we are looking at is achieving the sprint goal. And that's a little dramatic with the flag and all, but it's really that important in a setup. Okay. Now I know we're almost towards the end. I'm just looking at it, and okay. So let's try to understand. This is something related we've already heard a couple of times. So yes, can I request two people to read out the 2 points, please? Go ahead.
Scrum Sprint. Scrum Sprint is a repeatable fixed time box during which a done product of the highest possible value is created. Sprint lies at the core of the sprint agile methodology and can be thought of as an event which wraps all other Scrum events like daily Scrum, Scrum review, and Scrum retrospective.
Okay, next point as well.
Okay, sprint is one time boxed iteration of a continuous development cycle. Within a sprint, planned amount of work has to be completed by the team and made ready for review. Scrum projects are broken down into small and consistent time intervals referred to as sprints. They can be as short as a few days and generally are no longer than 3 to 4 weeks.
Thank you so much for reading. So what are we saying? First of all, we are saying sprint is a repeatable fixed time box during which the product of highest possible value is created. So repeatable, everybody understand. Fixed time box means fixed duration. Always remember, when we say time box, that means the duration of the sprint is fixed. Like if your first sprint is of 2 weeks, your entire project sprints will be of 2 weeks only. Okay. Next point is sprint lies at the core of the sprint agile methodology. That means for agile methodology, following sprint patterns, working in sprint is the core, is the main execution process. Yeah. And it can be thought of as a event that wraps all others. So basically your one sprint will have all the ceremonies that we have mentioned. It will have your scrum, it will have your scrum plan, sprint planning, review, retrospective, everything, right? So it's like a small iteration, and if you keep having those iteration one after the another, your entire project will get completed. That's what we are trying to say. And next is again we are referring to the time box iteration. In now the explanation is in the form of for development part. So see, imagine you have 2 weeks time that is fixed, but what you're doing in this 2 weeks, for example, or 10 working days, you're working on development, you're working on creation, you're working on delivery, right? Within this sprint, planned amount of work needs to be completed, that we already have discussed, that whatever is discussed in the sprint planning, that needs to be completed and made ready for review. Yes, it has to be ready for the client review. And the Scrum projects are broken into small and consistent intervals, that we understood that even if your project is for 2 years or 3 years, you'll still break it down to 1 month or 2 months, depending on what kind of sprint pattern you're following, and you'll go chunk by chunk, step by step, like that. And they are referred as sprint. They can be as short as, like, is generally 2 to 4 weeks is a very ideal time for a particular sprint. So now we understood at large how the entire sprint works as per the process, and now we are learning step by step what are the things that make a sprint, like time boxing, or ensuring the delivery is happening, quality delivery, or all having all the ceremonies. And I think we have passed time, and today we have covered a lot of different concepts, so I don't want to overboard you guys. So should we take a pause here? Everybody okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you
Yes.
just say yes. Yes, thank you so much for your responses. So again, before we wind up, just wanted to highlight a couple of things, guys. We do have multiple videos on the same topic, even by other trainers or even by us, me and Gaurav, by the recorded during the earlier classes. So please watch them. Please listen to them. If you can't watch, just play it on your YouTube, and you can just listen to those videos while you're working, while you're doing some household chores or traveling. See why? Because we kind of tend to give different set of example, different explanation, or the different discussions happen. So that will definitely add to your understanding. And also like and mention, write some comments, whatever you feel like, genuine ones. You understood, it was difficult, it was not easy, it was very nice, it was not good, anything that you feel like, but it has to be, it's really great if you could mention that comment. And along with that, also share your feedback for today's session on WhatsApp group, whatever you felt like, and please write it in a little elaborative manner, maybe in a sentence, maybe one sentence should be fine, but superb, nice, it's very superficial it sounds. So wherever you can mention that, okay, the Scrum sprint understanding was good, mention the topic, anything that you especially liked or you thought it was difficult, whatever it is. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time. Please go ahead and take your much needed good night sleep. And thank you for your participation. Take care. Good night. Bye bye.
Yeah,
Bye
thank
guys. Good night.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Good night. Bye. Good night. Take care. Bye.
Question.